The Chromecast in my home has reached its end of life, so it's time for something new.
What are you replacing it with?
We went with the on 4K streaming device by Walmart. I saw this one on the Lineage OS wiki and thought it'd be great to have something that's more open. So I convinced my mom to get one during Hanukkah. Love you, Mom!
どうも皆さん、レイムです。マリサだぜ。今回は、VOICEVOX 4K を開封してみたいと思います。それじゃあ早速開けていくぜ。レッツゴー。うわー。
For less than half the price of a bloody Apple TV remote, this package comes with quite a lot of stuff, including a charger and an HDMI cable, which is not something that you can take for granted these days.
So are you gonna install Lineage OS on this thing?
Well, my mom actually got the wrong model, so I can't really install it. I sure love when companies release two different products under the same name, but the good thing is, we might still be able to root this device according to this XDA thread, or can we? Dun dun dun. I followed the instructions, but it didn't work because the hardware version was too new. I guess I'll have to set up my VOICEVOX like a neurotypical person now. Except, I'm Canadian, and this device is region-locked to America. Adding insult to injury, I just learned that they started selling that in Canada a few months ago. I just forgot to check the listing. At least the American version is cheaper, and it can bypass the region lock with the VPN. Which brings us to today's spot. The on-streaming device runs Google TV, which is basically the same software that Chromecast runs. In other words, it's satanic spyware developed by the atheists from CIA to assassinate Charlie Kirk, and God forbid, it comes with ads. Thankfully, we can install a third-party launcher.
But which launcher?
To be honest, there aren't that many great options out there. However, since I'm still a little bit salty about the whole Lineage OS situation, we're going with Catapult, which is their new TV launcher that's still under active development. Of course, with Lineage OS being Lineage OS, you can't just compile Catapult and run it because it relies on some APIs that you won't have unless you're building the entire distro. So I commented out a couple of imports and modified some logic, and now it works. The design of Catapult reminds me of the old Android TV, and it also feels smoother than the stock Google TV launcher. Surprisingly, it even supports third-party recommendations.
Nice job, team.
But what about the hardware of this device?
My third favorite Jewish infotainment just released a new episode alleging a gay fork of NeoFetch written in Rust has great availability across Linux distros. As a member of the Furry Software Foundation, I felt morally obligated to try it out. Unfortunately, HiFetch isn't available on Termux, but FastFetch is.
What are you trying to say?
That filthy journal lied. As shown in the FastFetch, this device comes with AML S905Y4, which I believe is a slightly more modern version of the S905D3G found in the Chromecast 4K that adds hardware supports for 81 decoding. But the lack of HiFetch doesn't mean a lack of faggotry. You can still install the Rust toolchain. I tried to compile my brainfuck interpreter, only to learn that despite the hardware supports for ARM64, the system lacks the 64-bits API that are required for my JIT compiler. That said, we can still run it in interpreter mode. Hopefully that gives you some idea of the CPU performance. And now we can install NeoVim and then rise it like a black man.
No, you can't just rise NeoVim like a black man.